Hey, it's Ben Wise, ZOAR Fitness, and this is the name game. Workout number 16 is Erg-mahgerd. With a 20-minute time cap, it is a 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 calorie AirBike. Either the assault bike or the Wko bike is fine. And then a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 dumbbell hang clean and jerk at 50 pounds, 35 pounds respectively. So it'll go 50, 10, 40, 20, 30, 30, 20, 40, 10, 50. That's how it's gonna go in terms of flow. And then with the dumbbell, you have to switch hands every 5 reps. So that's mandated. So it doesn't matter which hand you start with first, however, you have to switch every 5. So in other words, if you got a no rep on number 4, you'd have to do another on that same arm before switching to the other arm. So movement standards, cows for the AirBike, you must reset the monitor each round. So each time you have to reset the monitor when you get back on the bike, and your butt cannot leave the seat of the bike until the screen shows the projected number of calories for that round. So in the round of 10 for the AirBike, you might sprint the first 5 and you could jump off and let it tick over and get ghost cows for the next 4 or 5 calories. However, you have to stay on it, so you can either put your feet on the pedals and let the pedal spin, or you can kind of just sort of take out the wattage and continue to kind of pedal and allow that to tick over, and then you can obviously pull out. And that's actually a strategy I would probably recommend for most people at last calorie, to kind of pull out the wattage but continue to just pedal lightly, or then put your foot on the metal pegs. And then for the hang clean jerk, that standard it can be between the legs or outside of the legs. I think most people are probably going to be between, but if you're someone who for some reason likes going on outside, you can do that. You have to go, a hang means straight arm, so you can't have any bend in your elbow, straight arm. And then you have to touch the shoulder, otherwise that would be a snatch. And then you go to press out overhead, where everything is stacked overhead. So those are the standards. I already explained the workout flow. So equipment setup, I would put the dumbbell right next to the bike. So it's pretty simple. You're gonna get off the bike, hop off, go right to your dumbbell. And really, you want to have that transition be pretty minimal, and to be able to get right to the dumbbell and hopefully do a big unbroken set each time, and then let your pace on the AirBike really determine your time on this piece. Obviously not everybody's gonna be able to do the dumbbell unbroken, but if you're capable of doing that without destroying your bike pace, that's what I would recommend. The one thing you have to be careful of is that the dumbbell reps do get obviously progressively larger as you go through the workout. So just because you feel good in the first 3 doesn't mean that you're gonna feel good in the last 2, and it's like you're really taxed from the bike, plus now your triceps and shoulders are gonna get tired from all the reps of that. So some thoughts about the workout. First of all, it's the same calories for men, same for calories in terms of men and women. That is not a misprint or mistake. That is a strategic representation of what has happened in the open, where sometimes we don't have that and sometimes we do. So 19.1 was the same for calories for men and women, and so occasionally I will do that in these sort of workouts. So ladies, sorry, but you have to do the same as the men on this one. Again, I kind of explained some of the strategy on the bike, but another thing I really want us to focus on is get up to speed quickly when you get onto the bike. And this is the case for almost any monostructural piece that's in a workout. Like, you don't want to take your time getting up to speed on the rower. You want to, within 3 or 4 strokes, be at actually slightly above your pace, or wattage, or below technically in terms of pace, and then slowly match where you actually want to hold for the majority of that element. So for example, say I want to hold 350 watts on the AirBike, I'm gonna maybe jump up to 500 watts or 450 watts, and then over the course of the next 15 or 20 seconds, I'll actually hold 350 watts, but the monitor will slowly bring me back down, and the RPMs will slowly bring me back down until I'm at the point where it actually shows and represents the amount that I'm currently holding, if that makes sense. So I would call that strategy the burst and bleed. So you burst, get it up to speed, and then you're slowly bleeding your wattage until you actually get to the pace that you want. I already talked about the strategy for ghost cows. Basically, just pull out the wattage, so to speak, but let the bike continue to move. And then really, you're gonna be taxed when you get off that, so it's just a matter of managing your breathing and continue to have good, efficient movement when you're going through the dumbbell clean jerk, and really the hang clean jerk, and really just trying to stay as relaxed as possible while you're moving through that movement. And yeah, something to think about, maybe hook grip that, especially if you have a steel dumbbell, like a hex steel dumbbell with a where the handle's a little bit thinner. I know a lot of the ones with like the rubber hex heads, especially from like Rogue or some of the bigger brands. They just get thick, so it's really hard to hook grip those, especially if you're a female with smaller hands. However, if you can, that definitely could be something that you do, and I'd recommend taping your thumb if you do that because there's a lot of forces there. And then lastly, for most people, you just have to commit to the biggest unbroken set on this you can, provided that it's not just blowing you up for the bike, but commit to going unbroken and be willing and unsurprised when it hurts when you get there, and you have to hold on to that anyway. Yeah, because that 10 calorie AirBike, you have to hit that, and then you have 50 dumbbell hang clean and jerks, which are just hard to speed those up. So like you don't have a ton of, like a best athlete in the world and a 10,000th athlete in the world are going to have relatively same cycle speeds on that movement. It really is going to come down to transitions and the bike wattage. And obviously if someone's better on the dumbbell, they'll be able to hold a higher bike wattage. So besides that, yeah, just be willing to hurt, and it's going to be a fun workout on this one. So warm-ups in the comments below, full warm-ups if you're someone who's not signed up for the protocol, and if you're someone who is in that situation where you've not signed up yet, you can trial a free week. You can get a free 7-day trial if you go to zoarfitness.com/pro. You'll be directed to that page. So for everybody else, all my athletes and people following the protocol, best of luck on Erg-mahgerd.